Diamond Steve and Josh Hardbody stand here in front of the internet and our fathers at home in the tradition of Kevin Scampoli, in their tradition of the whole fucking show, in their tradition of wrestling with regret, and they can all kiss our ass.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is Diamond Steve, as always, with
Josh Hardbody.
And we are the Average Bros. And today we're going to bring you back to form. We don't have any guests. We don't have anybody here to talk with us. We don't have any children in the room. So today is going to get down and dirty. We're going to talk about some gimmicks. We're going to talk about what's going on in AEW. And, we're going to talk about all-around bad gimmicks. Josh Hardbody, what do you got?
I mean, what's the worst gimmick you can think of off the top of your head?
The worst gimmick off the top of my head is the dude that was eat all the food during the New Gen, Bastion Booger.
Bastion Booger's pretty terrible. Apparently, he was a pretty big deal in the territories before Vince signed him.
Yeah, but that's because in the 80s and 90s, everyone that was big, it doesn't matter if you were fat, tall, you were put out as a heel. And I'm pretty sure Bastion Booger wasn't Bastion Booger in the territories, and he was just some dude squashing guys.
Yeah.
And people hated him. Hey, guess what? You're doing your job as a heel.
Another guy with a terrible gimmick that was good in the territories is Skinner. That was a guy with a terrible gimmick in the WWE, but actually a pretty good worker and had success in the pre-WWE Universe days.
Well, before he got to the WWE, he was actually, he didn't have to have a gimmick. That's the thing, though. A lot of these guys go to WWE, and it's like you've heard wrestlers talk about it. You think you get to WWE, and they're just going to put that magic gimmick on you. And that's not the case. Look at some of these guys. Let's look at some of these bad gimmicks that great wrestlers had, okay?
Yeah, we talked about him in an earlier episode, Farouk or Ron Simmons. That's one that really, really stands out. Now, they fixed it, but it was really bad in the very beginning.
Yeah, but even those kind of people, you can look at former world champions that have had bad gimmicks. Look at Stone Cold with the Ringmaster. Yeah, the Ringmaster, or the Blue Chipper Rocky Maivia.
Yeah.
Like, those were bad gimmicks. No one cared about those people when they were running those gimmicks. You didn't care about The Rock until he came out and cut that promo. You asked me why, Rocky, why? Die, Rocky, die. And then you didn't care about Austin until he started just beating people's ass every day. Yeah. And he was no longer had Millionaire Ted with him. He was off in WCW.
Another one that started with a bad gimmick, Owen Hart with the High Impact.
High Impact, even before that, Blue Blazer.
Oh, man, terrible gimmick.
And then it killed him.
It did. Well, Vince Russo killed him.
Vince Russo killed him, and Vince McMahon killed him, but, we're not going to get into that here. Mm-mm.
That's for another episode. We can talk about Russo.
That's a completely other episode. But you sit here and look at the bad gimmicks, and it's not changed. There's still bad gimmicks out there, even in today's wrestling. I can think of some gimmicks that are bad, or some dudes that just don't have gimmicks. Mm-hmm. I hate to say this. Ricochet, my dude, he doesn't have a gimmick. All he does is flippy shit. That's all he does. That's what he is. That's all he's known for. He doesn't have a gimmick, though.
I mean, I agree with you. I mean, I like the name Prince Puma, but there's still not a gimmick to go along with it. Like, he's got a mask, okay.
Yeah, exactly. Like, just because you have a mask doesn't mean you have a gimmick. I mean, people, let's be real here. Rey Mysterio in the 90s, even now, doesn't really have a gimmick.
Yeah,
he was a dude in a mask.
He was a lucha like the other luchas in WCW.
Exactly. And then now you sit here and look at all these different people, and you sit here and you can point out some other guys, too. Like, you brought it up before we even started doing this. Bobby Fish, or whatever his name is, from NXT that went to AEW now, and I mean, does Bryan Danielson or Daniel Bryan even have a gimmick?
Bryan Danielson, I'll help you out there. He's the American Dragon. He kicks people.
Okay, but who else kicks people? 90% of the roster.
But they don't have the yes thing.
He can't even do that. He doesn't even know if he's doing that. He's not even doing that. Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah,
is that even a gimmick? Yes, yes, yes.
It's a chant. I don't know if that counts. It's borderline.
Yeah, exactly. But like, if you think about it, though, like, there's a lot of things that don't have gimmicks. There's a lot of people that don't have gimmicks. Like, if you think of the 90s, everyone had a gimmick. You had the porn star.
Yep.
You had the outlaws.
Yep. The hillbillies.
Yep. You had the hillbillies. You had the Asians.
Yeah.
The evil Asians.
I choppy your pee-pee.
And then you have, like, what is it, like Hunter Hearst Helmsley?
Oh, yeah. The blue blood.
The blue chipper. You had Shawn Michaels, who was the heartthrob, heartbreaker, whatever.
And a rocker before that.
He enjoyed his rock and roll music. Mm-hmm. But you got to sit here and think about it, like, not, like, a lot of people start off with horrible gimmicks. Like, a lot. Because think about it, Marty Jannetty never lost the rocker gimmick. But he wasn't in the Rockers anymore. But he still came out in the tassels, still doing the high energy, bobbing his head to everything.
Was the problem with Marty really the gimmick, or was it the fact that he had a terrible cocaine addiction?
No, we're not talking about their personal demons here. We're talking about their gimmicks. We're talking about gimmicks here. And Marty never got given a chance to get a new gimmick. Or he may have just never tried to push for a new gimmick either. But that's the thing here. Like, the reason why I feel like Marty Jannetty was good in the ring. You can't deny that.
Definitely.
He was good. He could wrestle. He could put on a story, even if he was going to sell the wrong arm when he got hit in the left
That's
arm.
okay. It's fine.
Right arm. But we can get past that. But what I'm talking about is like, do you think Marty could have gone further if he would have changed from the guy who hated Shawn Michaels but was still trying to be a rocker by himself?
Me personally, no. I don't think the problem with Marty was the gimmick. The problem was the substance abuse problem, taking time off, coming back, and we never really got a payoff on that. I think Marty, he could work in the ring. He could cut an okay promo. He would have been fine even with the rocker gimmick.
You want to know something else? Here's a hot take, and I'm a mark for this guy. Kevin Nash never really had a gimmick.
Oh, the Diesel gimmick is a gimmick. Kevin Nash is just Kevin Nash.
When he becomes world champion, all he really is Kevin Nash.
Yeah.
Calling himself Diesel. Let's be real here. Diesel is what makes a Mack truck go, ladies and gentlemen. And it doesn't make sense to me. It's not a real gimmick. You know what I mean? Like, I think of gimmicks. I'm thinking of like, all right, 1999. You had like the Mafia in WCW, like the Vito and the.
Oh yeah,
at least
yeah.
They had a gimmick. They were the mob.
Yeah.
And they were here to get money from disco.
Yeah, with Chuck Palumbo.
Yeah, Chuck Palumbo, Vito, and
Sean O'Hare and all those guys.
No, not Sean O'Hare.
I thought Sean O'Hare was with Chuck and them. Who was the third guy?
Chuck Palumbo wasn't even in there.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty good. I'm pretty positive that he wasn't in there.
Anyway, they had the Mafia guys and Disco.
Yeah, the Mafia guy and
That's
Disco
good.
owed him money. They started it off with them sitting at commentary while Disco matches, and they would get involved, and then all of a sudden you find out why. It's because Disco like opened like a disco up or some shit and owed them money for the disco or something. It was stupid, but it was still a gimmick.
How important are gimmicks, really?
I mean, they're not really important anymore since the Attitude Era, let's be real.
I mean, do you think they were even important back then? Like, did making Kona Crush change anything?
No. But he didn't like it when you made kids cry, bruh.
Not bruh. I mean, not that Demolition Crush was any better. But this is a guy that's a big roidy magoo that could probably get over just being a big roidy magoo, but they've got to plug Demolition Crush on him. They got to plug Kona Crush on him. They got to plug Biker Crush on him. They got to plug the Chronic Crush on him. He
was Chronic. Yeah, he went WCW in the late 90s, early 2000s, and became Chronic with Brian Adams.
Yeah, Wrath was, speaking of bad gimmicks, the Atomic Bomb or whatever his name was.
Oh, man.
Terrible.
What's his name?
Adam Bomb. Yeah. Oh, man.
And then he becomes Wrath.
Yeah.
And then he's feuding with Mortis, which is also a pretty bad gimmick.
Terrible.
And then you had Glacier. WCW had their own Mortal Kombat cast going. I'm just waiting for the typical Asian guy to come out in black pants. And I'm like, man, now we're complete.
Is Mortis a worse gimmick than Glacier?
I don't know. Is Mortis worse than Champagne Chris Canyon?
No.
No? You don't think so?
Who better than Canyon?
Nobody's better than Canyon.
Exactly. I like the Jersey Triad. And
the
all
Jersey
that
Triad
stuff.
was really good. DDP sold it really well. But there's another guy with a horrible gimmick when he first started. He was like coming out, and Kimberly Page would have like the 10 sign and the 9 sign.
with the cigars and all that.
Yeah, the cigars and all that shit. And
but you booed him, so I guess it was effective.
I mean, it was effective, but I mean, if you look back on it now, you could have just been DDP. He could have just been DDP the whole time because we booed him as DDP.
Yeah,
when he was the Jersey Triad. You booed him.
Yeah, and then he got over just as being himself to an exaggerated level.
Yes, exactly. He got over being himself, and that's what happened to a lot of people. A lot of people say that a lot of the dudes in the Attitude Era really just took who they are and amplified it to 10.
Yeah, it's Kevin Nash, Scott Hall. You brought up Kevin earlier, and that's exactly
Kevin Nash,
what he does.
Scott Hall. They kind of started it with the WCW, with the NWO, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Hogan was still Hogan, even though he was Hollywood. Does Hogan really even have a gimmick? I mean, I guess you.
Brother. I guess that's a gimmick.
I mean, the All-American. I'm gonna beat the bad guy, good guy,
and then I'm gonna Hulk up and hit you with the big boot. Drop.
Let's talk about bad gimmicks some more. How about Brutus the Barber Beefcake?
Yeah, he's just in there because he's Hogan's boy.
Yeah.
I mean, the barber gimmick's bad. The booty man? is bad.
Let's just say it again.
Yeah, let's go over.
We say this like every time, but I'm gonna have to give it to OSW. This is the only reason why I know like every gimmick of Ed Leslie. I know there's 18 of them.
Okay, so let's make a list of Ed Leslie's
18
gimmicks.
of Ed Leslie's gimmicks, and we're stealing from OSW here because they've already done this. But we're not going to talk about like the Terry Boulders and all that. Let's just talk about the big ones. All right.
Okay.
So you had Brutus the Barber Beefcake.
Terrible.
Terrible. Then you had Furface.
Terrible.
Then you came back as the Beefer.
Terrible.
Then you went to WCW as Brother Brudeye.
Terrible.
Was it Brudeye?
Brother Brudeye, yes.
Yeah,
that's
Brother
the real
Brudeye.
one.
Then he became the Butcher.
Terrible.
Because he butchered a friendship.
I got it.
Then he became the Man with No Name.
Yep.
Then he became the Man with No Face.
Yep.
And then he became
the Zodiac. Yeah. These are so bad. Folks at home, we're getting to a good gimmick at the very end. So let's keep going.
Let's we're not going to sit here and shit on all of them because I have something good to say about the last one. And then you got the Booty Man,
Terrible.
which is the one you brought up. And these are
Terrible.
only 10, so like we're not talking about like all the 70s and 80s ones where he's just Hogan's bitch. I mean, he's Hogan's bitch throughout the whole time, but
like in kayfabe.
In kayfabe though, 10, the Booty Man. And then he goes to become the Disciple. He takes like a 2-year break. You don't see him since like 1996 in WCW. I don't know if he was injured or what, or if Hogan talked them back into signing him or what. I don't know, or if he was getting money sitting at home. But he comes back, and I will tell you this: 14-year-old Steve did not know that was fucking Brutus Barber Beefcake.
You want to try that one again, Steve?
Brutus the Barber Beefcake.
There you go. Say that 10 times
excited
fast.
when I talk fast.
Yeah. I agree. And
I didn't know that was him.
Yeah, 14-year-old me didn't know it was him either. And then when Warrior's like, "Oh, it's you, Brother Brutus," or whatever the fuck he was saying to him, it's like, "Oh, the Disciples Beefcake."
I'll have to say this though, and I'll have to give it out to OSW. I was watching not their last episode because YouTube's a bunch of marks and took it down for WWE, but. Yeah. There one before that when they talk about Warriors promo that took like 18 minutes with the ad break in between and how the internet shits on it, but like both the Steves on the show love it.
Who in their right mind would give Warrior a microphone for 18 minutes?
I don't think he was supposed to go for 18 minutes.
To cut the mic off, do something.
But then again, you had a Bill Goldberg match for the main event, so you knew that wasn't going long.
I suppose so.
Yeah. And you weren't gonna let him pin Giant because you're still like at this point they're still trying to keep Giant as like a monster.
Oh, speaking of terrible gimmicks.
Yeah. And so, no, but then you got him in Ultimate Warrior, like, and I agree with V1 from OSW, because, like, one of the lines in that promo that gets me, he goes, "These two dudes behind you, one of them must be your barber." And he's talking about the Disciple. Yeah, it's perfect.
But he's got the beard and the hair. And
you couldn't tell.
I didn't do that.
But then it's when, it's like you said, when he takes over the Disciple, and you find out that he's Brother Brudeye.
He's part of the Warrior Nation, brother.
The one member of the One Warrior Nation.
How good was that Nitro, by the way?
Which Nitro?
The first one that Warrior was on.
It's not great.
Oh, it was great. It was the best.
Like, are we just talking about Warrior segment or the whole Nitro itself?
The Warrior segment.
Because, like, the whole Nitro itself isn't great. There's like three Hogan promos. There's like 5 other promos, and there's only like 4 or 5 matches.
That's the thing with those old Nitros is, it's 3 hours long, but the whole first hour is promos. Then by the time you get to matches, you're like, oh, right, matches. And then you're just over it, and you've got a whole hour to go after that. Yeah. I don't know what they were thinking.
You're sitting there, and you're like, all right, now we're going to give you all these matches, and we're going to give you shitty finishes to the matches, just so we can say we got more wrestling than the other guy. But we're also going to give you fucking like 10 promos beforehand. Just sit back.
And they're all bad. It's all Hogan. It's all Flair.
Well, that one particular, and the only reason I remember is because I just watched that OSW episode, was DDP was one, Bret Hart and Bret Hart and DDP were the same one. Then you had Horace Hogan and Raven.
Oh, goodness. Because there's so many gimmicks to talk about.
Hogan twice.
Yeah.
I can't think of any other ones that came out and had a promo.
Yeah, so you don't remember.
The Wolfpack came out and had a promo. And, they just came out. They just came out and said their typical stuff. Like Conan's like, "Orale!"
Hey, that guy got on camera. He did his job.
He did his job. And, what is Sting, it doesn't make any sense. He's like, "I'm running red and black for life," or whatever, and it's stupid.
Doesn't make any sense at all. But before we get too far away from the previous discussion we were having, you mentioned a couple guys that had real shitty gimmicks in the beginning, and the Giant is one of them. He's Andre the Giant's son, and we're going to have a monster truck match on the top of a building, and he's going to fall off, but he's going to come back anyway, and he's still Andre's son? What is this about?
It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. you can look at it and tell. No, I don't think Andre had any kids.
No, look at that guy. He's got at least 700 teeth.
He didn't have any kids though, right? Like for real. Like
no, he's got a daughter.
A daughter. You can still look that stuff up. The internet was still somewhat there where you can look people up that were famous. So you could look up and be like, Andre the Giant's children. And you can be like, oh, this is a work.
I mean, nobody did.
Nobody did because you believe it. You know what I'm saying? Like, this guy is like 7-something.
Did you really believe it? Okay, I was fixing to say.
Because he doesn't look anything like Andre.
No, he looks like a big giant.
He just looks like a big giant dude that they were like, we're going to call you the Giant. And we're going to say you're the son of the Giant. We're going to actually say Andre, though, because we can't.
And Kevin Sullivan's going to be like, you killed his dad, Hulk. You did this, Hulk Hogan. Now we're going to kill Hulkamania.
We're there in coalition to kill Hulkamania.
With the 4 Horsemen, Arn Anderson.
Woo!
That was a really bad time for WCW.
Oh, man, you had like fucking, what was it?
The Shark.
The Shark.
John Tenta's a good wrestler, too. Oh, terrible gimmick.
The Shark. Ming was,
Ming and the Barbarian?
Was the Barbarian turned into the Barbarian?
No, it's Ming and the Barbarian
are
the Faces of Fear.
The Faces of Fear, that's it. Yeah. He had the gold thumb and he was like,
the Tonga Kid.
And then you had the Man with No Name or the Zodiac. No, yes.
And the Yeti.
And the Yeti.
And a mummy was in there at some point.
The Yeti.
RoboCop was there.
RoboCop saved.
At some point.
No, that was in the 80s when RoboCop showed up and saved Sting from the Horsemen.
RoboCop was over, daddy.
RoboCop is a cop about a movie that's robot.
And a cop.
And a cop.
And he gets blown to pieces.
Oh, it's perfect.
Oh, man.
But no, like, you sit here and you look at this stuff from the 90s, man, like, I can't picture what little Steve was thinking in the 90s watching some of this stuff. Because I watched it in the 90s, you know what I mean? Like, I watched wrestling in the 90s, but now as an adult watching it, I'm like, what was I doing? As an adult, you can sit here and pick out, like, the 4 people. All right, during the new gen, let's talk about it, right, for a second. I got 5 wrestlers for you that you fucking cared about.
All right, I'm listening.
Gen. Shawn Michaels.
Yep.
Diesel.
Yep.
Razor Ramon.
Yep.
Bret Hart.
Yep.
Undertaker.
Yep.
Tell me I'm wrong. Ladies and gentlemen.
That's about it.
He's stumped.
Yeah.
But then again, let's go to WCW, okay? It's about 5 wrestlers you care about.
All right. Oh, hold on. Let me try this one. Sting, Flair, Luger. I cared about Vader. He was there. Macho. Oh, is that 5?
That's 5. So you can actually do more because Hogan, you definitely cared.
Oh, that's right.
Because you cared that you either cheered him or you booed him.
Yes.
Arn goes into this discussion because he's part of the 4 Horsemen.
Oh, yeah. Mongo. No, he's not there yet.
Mongo's not. 1, not there yet, and 2, not on this
Mongo's
list.
the best.
Mongo, get the fuck out of my face.
He was so good on commentary.
Good on commentary. There's difference between being good on commentary. It's like we talk every day, and you're like, I'd rather hear Chris Jericho on commentary than see him wrestle anymore. Nothing against what Chris has done his whole career. But you'd rather hear him on commentary than see him wrestling.
I'd rather watch Mongo wrestle.
Don't backtrack.
Hold on. I would rather watch Mongo wrestle in 1996 than Jericho wrestle today.
Damn. I can't.
Jericho's terrible.
I can't even say that.
He weighs 900 pounds.
That's not true.
He looks like Mickey Rourke.
That's not true.
Dog, put a picture of them. Put them next to each other. They're the same person.
Well, if we were swaggy enough to do this during this point of the podcast, we would put it up right here.
Yeah, and then the internet would know that I'm correct. I mean, and I respect what Jericho did in his career. I think he's been a great worker for the vast majority of his career. But Chris, hang it up.
I don't know what you're talking about, man. Like, Chris can still go. You had these dudes that went till they were like 65. Jericho still has a few more years left, man, and you put them in tag matches like they're doing. That's what you do. You don't give them these... Okay, the last singles match he needs to have is that one with MJF, and we can call it good. There's no more need for any of that.
Okay, we're on the same page.
Let's just do tag team matches with the Inner Circle. Mm-hmm. It's cool, and he can be the mouthpiece for the Inner Circle. Mm-hmm. And then once in a blue moon, he gets involved in like a 5-man tag, or whatever you want to do.
That's not going to happen.
I'm just telling you, that's what's been going on for the last, 2 months.
Yeah, but this is the same guy that's just like, Orange Cassidy's popular. I need to get in a stupid champagne mimosa match with him.
And then they teamed up. Did you know this? At the Rockin' Cruise Connection, or whatever the fuck it's called, the Rockin' Wrestling Cruise, or whatever Chris Jericho puts on. You know, the AEW supports it and puts on matches. Yeah. Him and Orange Cassidy came out dressed alike with a mixture of Orange Cassidy's song and Judas. It was actually pretty good because it starts with Orange Cassidy's don't whatever the fuck his song is.
I'm not impressed.
And then he came dressed out as Orange Cassidy, and they both did the thumb thing and all this. But it's stupid, you know what I mean? 3 months ago, you were in a blood feud
with a great debate segment, and Bischoff was there. And it was all
man, it was perfect. And
but not necessary.
No.
Because Cassidy is never going to be anything more than a middle card guy with that gimmick. And I like Cassidy. I think he's fun to watch. He can get all kinds of babyface sympathy, but he's very limited with that gimmick.
He's very limited with that gimmick, and he's also very small. Like, putting him in these title matches against dudes, like, I think he beat, like, Powerhouse Hobbs. And I'm not saying Hobbs needs to be in the title picture whatsoever, but my disbelief comes into play here when I watch a guy who's, like, 90 pounds soaking wet roll up this dude that's like a 250 brick shithouse, probably on the roids.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Now you put Cassidy in the ring with Kip Sabian? Okay,
we can have a discussion.
Cool. Yeah.
Or put him in there with your boy from Kentucky, who he's friends with.
Oh, like, Chuck Taylor.
Yeah, like him and Chuck Taylor to wrestle against each other. I could believe that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's believable, but I don't believe him beating Hobbs.
No.
I don't believe him beating Swagger or Hager, whatever the fuck.
Not that he wrestles at all anyway.
He really doesn't? You
yeah.
notice that?
I hope they're not paying him very much.
I don't know. That's a good question. But let's deviate back to our... We keep going off topic, and maybe that's just the point of the show, that we just keep going.
Oh, it's cool. We haven't talked about wrestling in a while, so obviously this is a good time. But back to the gimmicks, there's a second guy that we talked about that started out, in my opinion, with a really shitty gimmick, was Conan. You see him come out in Clash of the Champions like 94 and 95, and he's just the Mexican Hulk Hogan with the Aztec shit and the tassels and all that. It's like, whatever, no one cares. I mean, and now he's Viva la Raza! Oh, okay, gringo.
Orale.
Orale. Oh, he's so good with just the top button buttoned.
Yeah, he's a criminal.
I got it, yeah.
Yeah, he wrestles in the tank top and the pants and...
Yeah,
does the spins and all that still. Like, Conan can work. It could work back in the day.
Definitely.
He could work.
Is he really in a wheelchair, or is he working, mate?
I think he's in a wheelchair. I think he was in a wheelchair just for a short time, because he wasn't in a wheelchair when he was in AEW with Pride and Powerful a couple months ago.
I feel like he's been working us the whole time.
I feel like he was working us in, what was it, Lucha Underground or TNA?
Yeah, Lucha
when he had the wheelchair, right? I think he was working us then.
Yeah, because he would come out with LAX and he wasn't in a wheelchair.
No,
I mean, he wasn't wrestling
coming out
or
with
nothing.
the flag on him and, you know.
Yeah, the Orale!
These are the new generation. Orale!
Oh, I love it. I love Conan. He's so good. And he went from so bad to just so good.
All right, well, give me one more person that you thought that started out so bad. And you can't use Stone Cold or The Rock. I want someone different.
Oh, goodness. I don't know.
That you care for.
One that comes to mind is Cody Rhodes. I really hated Dashing Cody Rhodes. And,
Dashing Cody Rhodes?
Yeah, I hated the mustache. I hated the, what was the name of their tag team? Legacy?
No, that was the one. The Legacy one was the group with Randy Orton when they had the
DiBiase Jr.
Yeah, I mean, that made sense to me, though, because, you had DiBiase's kid, you had Cody's, or Dusty's kid, and then you had Bob Orton's kid.
Yeah.
All together.
And they're all boring.
And Randy was kind of the leader because he had been in the business for a little longer.
And they're all boring.
I'm not saying they're all boring, but it was a way to get them shown, you know what I mean? Because that's when you first cared about Cody.
No, you didn't. Don't lie and say you cared about Cody before he left.
You cared about watching. No, I didn't care about when he left. I didn't care for Stardust at all. Fuck Stardust. You want to talk about bad gimmicks?
Terrible.
I would have rather seen Dashing Cody Rhodes. A smirky, I'm the best looking guy here.
Yeah.
But then WWE has to do the whole stupid, like, we're going to put a face mask on you because your face got hurt. And we're going to make you put, like, trash bags on people's heads.
Yeah.
Or what is it? No, brown bags on people's heads.
No, I'm totally with you. Cody Rhodes is fucking terrible in the WWE. You're not convincing me anything I don't already know. And then he comes out for AEW and he goes, I went from undesirable to goddamn deniable.
Well,
and he's right.
Let's talk about a fun fact here. He's turned the fact that the fans don't like the fact that he beat Malachi Black.
I'm really pissed.
Where he's the bad guy, but thinks he's a good guy.
Yeah.
That's the sign that I'm getting from Cody right now, and I'm loving it.
Oh, and I was loving when Arn slapped him.
Oh, when Arn slapped him, and then when Arn's like, I'm gonna pull my Glock out. That's what I'm gonna do, Cody.
Arn is so good. Arn is such a good heel promo. Like, don't make this guy babyface. I know he's a legend. Just put him with a heel and let him cut heel promos about.
Well, I mean, we're getting that now.
Well, whenever Cody becomes an official heel.
I mean, technically
he's a heel to me, to all of us fucking marks. But, like, in, like, storyline, he's not. Like, I'm sure the TNT bigwigs are like, Cody Rhodes is the biggest babyface in the business. No, it's not true. I want to see Malachi Black and fucking kill him in the middle of the ring.
Yeah, but Malachi Black clearly isn't a babyface.
Are you saying that you're not part of the House of Black?
I'm not saying I'm not part of the House of Black. I'm just saying he's not a babyface. You can't deny that.
He's a babyface. Does he get cheered or not?
I mean, now he's teaming with Andrade.
Oh, speaking of no fucking gimmicks, what is his gimmick?
I mean, is he like a rich? I mean, he stole a Del Rio's gimmick pretty much. He's like a rich aristocrat fucking Spanish.
Yeah, but at least I can tell what Del Rio was saying. Like, this dude sounds like he's got fucking marbles in his mouth.
I don't get what they did. Like, was Chavo only on like a month deal? Because like Chavo like got beat up by him and is gone now. Like, I figured it would have been smarter just to keep Chavo. Because you're right, when that dude talks, I can't understand a word.
Nothing, not a word.
Which nothing against him, you know what I mean? He's just got a strong Spanish accent. Like, I can't understand.
No, that's why you got to get the dude that's with Pinta. Pinta says.
Yeah, that's perfect. By the way.
Oh, it's so good.
But like that's why Chavo was working because Chavo spoke for him. Chavo, if Chavo can do anything, Chavo can't wrestle anymore, but he can still talk on the mic.
Boy, Chavo's a guy that I really didn't appreciate while he was there. While he was young and I was young and watching wrestling, I was like, fuck Chavo, get him off of my television. Looking at it as an adult, it's like, I need to see Chavo and Hoovy today.
Yeah, because Chavo can work.
Yeah.
Chavo is able to work. And then, but when you're a kid or when you're 20 or 21 or 19 or whatever you want to say, you were like, fuck you, you're only over because your uncle's fucking Eddie.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why you're here in WWE. That's the only reason why you were in WCW. You ran around with a fake fucking horse. Get off my fucking television. And then Norman Smiley stole your horse and rode it like he was having sexual relations with people. It's fucking.
What is Norman Smiley's gimmick?
He doesn't have a gimmick.
I mean, he comes out in like hockey gear and shit like that.
Well, I guess is that really a gimmick? Because he was afraid. He was a scaredy cat.
I guess that's a gimmick.
The hardcore gimmick, like when he was doing the hardcore stuff, he was a scaredy cat, but in the hardcore division. It doesn't make sense. No, and then he can actually work and has the crossface chicken wing and all that stuff. Well, when he first showed up, that's what he did. He did the crossface chicken wing first finisher. But the problem was that he was a dude that showed up and he had like wrestling boots on and tights on, and that's it. Like he didn't have any tape on. He didn't have any knee pads on. He looked generic. But somehow he got over.
I mean, could you say he really got over? I don't remember ever being like, "Yay, Norman Smiley's here."
I'm not gonna say he got over, but he got put on TV a bunch.
He was on TV
more than
a
I would
lot.
have put him on fucking TV.
Yeah, well,
and again, but he didn't start putting on TV a bunch until he started doing that scaredy cat gimmick.
Yeah, well, WCW put a lot of guys on TV a bunch that I wouldn't have, like Das Wunderkid. Alex Wright, like the dance. Yeah. If we could splicey, we would. The stupid do the dance.
Yeah.
The Germans are the best. That's not a fucking gimmick, bro.
Then they repackaged him as the Wall or the Berlin, and then he had the Wall with him. Remember?
That's disgusting.
Remember?
No, I don't remember.
And then they had the big guy who was called the Wall. With
him. I got it. I get it.
Right?
Yeah.
You get it?
I got it.
But that's the thing that they did. They had that.
That could not have been his idea.
I don't know if it was his idea. I doubt it was his idea. But when we get done with this show, I'm going to pull it up and show you.
I believe you 100%.
I need people in the chat to confirm this for Hardbody.
Oh, it's
I'm telling you, his name was Berlin, and then they had the Wall with him.
Oh, was it the one-man gang?
No, it wasn't the one-man gang. It was a big dude. It was a newer guy. Like, he couldn't work.
Ooh. Speaking of bad gimmicks, Hakeem, the African Dream, is the one-man gang. Oh, my God. That would not go over today.
No, man. Like, you can't even have someone play a fucking Indian in a movie if they're not, like, 1% Indian. You know that, right? That's a fun fact.
Yeah. But that's what the one-man gang did. He's like, I found out my ancestors came from Africa. And then he's coming out in the kufi and all the outfits and all that. Yeah, I love it. So, man.
Oh, man. Who does not remember the Towers of Power? Him and Boss Man? Or is it... What was it?
Him and Boss Man were together, but I can't remember.
There was something because like people put it up on like the internet as like a meme, and it's like always remember, and it's the Twin Tower, and it's like I'm talking about the Twin Towers, but it's like the towers.
I got it. You see, it's not actually 9/11. I got it.
But I can't think of what their tag team name was. It was Tower of Power,
or I don't know. Who cares? Who cares? Boss Man. A guy that was really big could actually work a little bit. I'm sure you remember like the Taekwondo axe kick he pulled out. But, just a boring guy. And then he's the, what is he, the Guardian Angel or some shit?
When they first showed up to WCW, they had him with like a Boss Man type gimmick. and I think it was like the Big Boss or something like
No,
that.
it was like the Guardian Angel because he had the beret and the white shirt.
No,
and
but they
all
had
that.
to change it to the Guardian Angel because WWE.
Oh,
threatened to
you're
sue
right.
Because it was too close to Boss Man.
You're right. And then he's just Big Bubba Rogers.
Then he's Big Bubba Rogers, and he joins the NWO like every other dude.
And then he
He's
goes
in
back to WWE and he's in the Shield.
and he's the Shield 1.0.
Yeah, he's in the Shield. He started the Shield.
He was there, and Roman Reigns and them were children, and he was like, "Let me show you how it's done." And he's going out with the nightstick.
And then the Undertaker hung
Hangs
him.
him.
Oh no!
What was that? WrestleMania 13 or
Yeah,
14?
something like that.
It's one of those crazy ones.
Like, how can you shit on ECW for crucifying the Sandman? Which shit on ECW all you want for crucifying the Sandman, but like they hung the Boss Man. We need to criticize that too.
I mean, they criticized. They got criticized.
He was twitching.
They got criticized. It was just before the internet was so big that you had it on your phone and you can read all the reviews after pay-per-view.
Oh man, that would have went
Could you
over.
imagine if that happened? And we had like Google on our fingertips, or like YouTube, or like Twitter.
Oh,
or
Vince would be
Facebook?
out of business.
Yeah.
Like,
you
let's
wanna
go
talk
back.
about cancer?
Bark like a dog. That's
Yeah.
not gonna happen.
No, but that technically happened. The internet was a thing.
Yeah, but not like the Twitter outrage machine wasn't a thing.
No, but I mean, the internet was a thing, and the internet apparently has ways.
Yeah,
of
we
making
just used it to look at porn. It wasn't a big deal.
I mean-
Nobody had streaming video.
You're right. You're right. But I mean, you also had the moments where he's like got Stacy Keibler stripping on SmackDown, and he's sitting.
Oh,
It's the
Stacy.
meme- Now it's
Stacy.
the meme where he's like
Stacy.
falling over in his chair.
Stacy, I know you and George aren't together anymore, and I'd like to speak for my boy Diamond Steve over here and Josh Hardbody. Like, I've loved you ever since you were Miss Hancock in 1999, and you know where to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell button for notifications.
Are
I
you
just,
done?
I just had to talk to Stacy for a little
Okay.
bit
Are
there.
you-
We're on a first name basis.
I got you. Are you done?
Yeah, I'm
You done talking to Stacy?
Well,
We
are-
can get back to work now.
I mean, I wanted to. Do you want to talk to Stacy? She's right here. She's listening.
No, I don't think she's really listening, but
She's definitely listening. We're very important.
Stacy, I'm a big fan.
Yeah, see, thank you.
I hope you get nothing but great things in your life, and holler at your boys. Like,
Exactly.
comment, subscribe. Thanks.
Hit the bell button for notifications.
But no, okay. Here's a hot take. Let's talk about Charlotte Flair in the news.
I think that's all a work.
You think it's a work?
Yeah.
You think it's WWE trying to be smart, or
Yeah.
you think it's her just trying to get fired?
No, I mean, if she wanted to get let go, she would get let go. She would just act like an asshole and not be on TV at all.
That's true too. She just would stop showing up and stuff.
Yeah. And now, if they start devaluing her and have beating her every week on free TV, well, then maybe we can have a discussion. But we haven't seen that sort of thing yet. But not that the WWE cares about their women's division, because they definitely don't. Like, did you see the Queen's Crown tournament? All 18 minutes of it.
What?
Yeah, like all their matches put together were like 18 minutes for the Queen's Crown.
18 minutes?
Yeah,
like
terrible.
all the qualifiers, the semi,
Yes.
the semi, and
Yes.
then the main event.
Yes.
How long was the men's?
But who gives a shit?
I'm just curious.
I don't know. Didn't Xavier Woods win?
Xavier Woods won.
He's
Now
pretty
it's-
delightful.
Now it's King Xavier and Sir Kofi.
Oh, man.
Because Big E's like, I'm champion.
I got it.
I'm
I
over
got
here.
it. Did you get it?
Yeah.
I like my Xavier Woods in the Apollo Creed boxing shorts and TNA with the American flag stuff.
Oh, what was his name?
I have no idea what his name was. I remember
Something
loving
Creed.
it. Yeah.
It was Consequences Creed.
Mm-hmm.
Consequences Creed. But the thing is like it doesn't make any sense though, because like he's calling himself Creed, and he's in like well, no, I'm thinking of Clobber.
Was this before or after he banged Paige?
This is before he banged Paige.
God, what a
This
lucky
was in
guy.
TNA. Yeah, he banged Paige.
Yeah.
With the other dude there.
Yeah, I don't remember.
They
Brad Maddox
they
is
turned
the other
her
guy.
into an H. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, my gosh.
They did the. I mean, I don't know if they did the high five.
That got
But I
released
mean,
on
you
the
watched it
internet.
enough.
I
Did they do a high five?
No, they didn't.
They didn't turn her into an A.
Oh, we're going to get canceled now.
I don't care.
Oh, fair enough. Yes,
Who's
that
really
happened.
listening to this?
No, like 17 people, but we're
Exactly.
very important to those 17 people.
Yeah,
Steve.
exactly. I mean, and half the people that listen are friends who don't even really watch wrestling, and they're probably like, "What are they talking about?" Like,
Yeah,
if you haven't
exactly.
looked it up yet, I'm not saying go look it up, but it's there. I mean, it's. I don't condone it.
It's
but
not safe
there.
for work. We didn't
Yeah.
leak it.
Yeah.
Like, that's illegal, I guess. You know, but like it's out there on the internet. But anyway, Xavier Woods is friggin' awesome. That's the important part. Like, have you seen his boots with the curly toe?
Yeah. No. Like I love.
Oh, I could talk about those leaks all day long. We've got to move
Yeah,
on.
we gotta
That's a
move on.
separate discussion.
But let's talk about Xavier Woods some more. Let's talk about the New Day. All right. I love the New Day. Here's why.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No. What I love about the New Day is their cosplaying wrestling attire that they wear.
Oh, so they come out as Saiyans one time.
Oh my god! No. If you watched a couple months ago, they had like White Ranger and Green Ranger gimmicks.
Oh, yeah. So okay, so you like the Power Rangers, so you like to do it. Get the fuck out of here.
I'm just saying, I enjoy the fact that they put thought into their fucking ring attire, other than just a black pair of trunks that say Orton on it with fucking red snakes or whatever. Like no one gives.
Randy Orton's terrible too.
No one gives a fuck about half these dudes. I'm just saying,
Take a breath. 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 Internet, we're all going to take a breath with Steve. Oh, two more.
Internet, if I can talk to you about something
serious.
For
Go ahead. Steve's going to talk to you, Internet.
I'm going to tell you this right now as someone who just made a drastic change in his life. If you are unhappy, if you have thoughts
is a public service announcement
that you just don't want to do whatever it is you're doing anymore, just remember you're not stuck. You can get out. You can do what you want to do. If you are no longer happy, get out there. Find something that makes you happy. Shooting a podcast, playing video games, hanging out with your son, hanging out with your wife, camping, whatever it is you want to do. Find something that makes you happy. That way you don't get chucked down into the depression or the inemollient ooze, as you'll say. I don't know what that word was.
It's a made-up word.
It's just whatever. I don't care. And just remember, you're the one that has to be happy. Take care of yourself before you take care of everyone else around you.
That was a public service announcement from Diamond Steve.
I'd like to thank you for your time. I'd like to thank you for listening. Now back to the action.
Yeah, we could be like John Moxley. Have you seen the excerpt from his book where he's like, fuck the WWE?
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's
what
like,
a beast.
fuck them and fuck everything about them. Like, yeah, he doesn't care. He knows he's never going back. He doesn't care.
I mean, they shit all over him. He was a hot commodity.
He won the title, and that fucking place cheered their fucking lungs out.
The dusty finish on Money at the Bank?
Whatever, they fucking cheered their fucking lungs out when he won. And then you give him stupid fucking title defenses like Dolph fucking Ziggler. Zigglypuff, if you're listening, I just want you to know, I think you're fucking terrible, and I need you to get off my fucking television. You are dragging Bobby Roode down. You're probably the one that came up with the Big Bob gimmick, and I need you to get the fuck away from him right now. Bobby, you're glorious. Go back to being glorious. That's what you need to do. Or you need to get to AEW where they'll let you do what you need to do.
Steve, you're mad at the wrong guy. You need to be mad at Vince. These guys don't get to make any decisions that have to do with their career.
I don't care. I don't like Zigglypuff, and I'm making it known right now to the internet.
Why?
That I dislike Zigglypuff. Because he can't fucking work. You want to talk about people with gimmicks? Tell me Zigglypuff's gimmick.
He's Billy Gunn.
Tell me Zigglypuff's gimmick.
He's Billy Gunn.
Tell me Zigglypuff's
He's Billy Gunn. That's his gimmick. He's Billy Gunn. That's what it is.
Billy Gunn is still around.
Yeah, but he does the Billy Gunn to show off.
I don't understand how this guy is still making money. I don't fucking get it. I don't understand it. And guys like fucking Bray Wyatt are getting fired, and Zigglypuff is staying hired. Can you agree with me on that?
Well, the reason that Wyndham Rotunda got fired is he got over without Vince's permission. And Zigglypuff stays...
Who didn't get over without Vince's permission? Let's think about the 90s here.
Well, we're not talking about the 90s.
Didn't have his fucking permission.
But we're not talking about the 90s.
Then he needs to get the fuck off of it. Vince, retire, die. I don't know what you need to fucking do, but you're ruining your company, and I hope you go out of business.
I do too.
If you end up being the only game in town again because for some reason AEW goes out of business, this guy will no longer watch wrestling. I cannot stand your product. The only good thing you have going for you is Paul Heyman, and I'm pretty sure you're not even using him to his full potential.
Paul, I can't feel my legs, Paul. It's so good. So good. Oh, goodness. Anyway, Vince is terrible. Like, we're not going to get any argument here, but look at Damian Sandow. He got over with a stupid gimmick against Vince's permission. He got shit all over, then shipped to TNA, where he proceeded to be... Is he still working at TNA?
He's in NWA.
Okay, so...
He's in the last Power Hour I watched, he was there.
Oh, you watch it, NWA Power Hour?
Yeah, I got to keep my mind fresh since we do this show. I got to watch it.
Man, Trevor Murdoch looks like shit.
as their champion. I don't get fucking that. Billy Corgan needs to do something because like that dude is not the answer. Now I'm not saying Nick Adonis needs to keep the title for like years on end.
Yeah,
but there is plenty of other talent.
Yeah, Warhorse is good. I like Warhorse.
Warhorse is good. Mm-hmm. The Forbidden Door's open. Get in talks with AEW and do something with them. That's all I'm saying.
I agree. We've got a pro wrestling
you just
extended universe.
You just said it. Damian Sandow, or whatever the hell he's calling himself. I'm not even really sure what he's calling himself. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But, he's there.
Mm-hmm.
He can work. But you're going to put your fucking world title. Your
On
world
Trevor
fucking
Murdoch.
title on Trevor fucking Murdoch. This dude looks worse than I did a year ago.
He looks like a melted marshmallow.
He does. And he's sitting there doing that shitty Canadian destroyer. And
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, that's a pretty delightful finish, but not for a guy that has
And I'm
no
not saying
chin.
he's not a good worker, okay? I'm not saying that.
I'm saying he's got 99 problems and a chin's not one of them.
Exactly. I mean, but he doesn't need y'all's world title. I don't know the story. I don't know the background. All I know from that show where he won it is like the one where Ric Flair showed up and was talking about how like he's happy that Vince let him go because now he can come to all these other shows and yada yada yada. And then the plane ride from Hell episode came out. And now AEW, I guess, is afraid to touch him.
Hold on. Who didn't already know about the plane ride from hell? Like, I'm confused.
It doesn't matter. Like, this show has ruined Ric Flair.
But
Like, what's he doing
everybody knew.
I'm not saying everyone didn't know.
Why are we outraged now? I mean, be outraged. You shouldn't make people touch your Space Mountain against their will. Right?
No, but like, apparently he's not the only one that had like issues on this plane ride. Like Dustin Rhodes
And
apparently.
Justin Credible was there,
Justin
and
Credible
Six Pac was there.
Six-Pac and
Or
all these
X-Pac
other-
or Sean
RVD
Waltman.
and
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar and Kurt Hennig, God rest his soul, was all there. Because that's where the
Yeah, but no one sexually assaulted anybody except for Ric Flair. Which, again, I'm not defending that. But why haven't we been outraged about it for the last 15 years?
No, I get that. I'm not disagreeing with you here. No one here at the Average Bud Podcast promotes or justifies anything that happened
Yeah.
on that plane ride. One, I wasn't there, obviously.
Yeah.
You weren't there.
No.
I can't help that Rick had a little too much to drink and made a stupid decision for his career.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Even though I'm pretty sure he doesn't have any money left. I don't know how
No,
much
there's
money-
no way he's got any money to look at him.
I mean, I don't know.
He didn't save his money, Daddy.
He didn't save his money.
There's no way he did. That's why
mean-
he's got to get in the
I
polka
mean,
dots. I knew it was the rib, but I needed the money, baby.
I should have taken the money. But no, like you're right though. Like, who didn't know about this? Like, this has been something that's been talked about for the last
Since it
10
happened.
years, 12. Well, how long ago was it?
The plane ride from hell is
like
like
2002,
something like that.
2003.
It's been to 20 freaking
It had to
years.
it had to have been 2002 because that's when Henning was doing his last run with WWE.
Well, there you go.
So it was 2002. Brock was just coming up,
So 19 years we've known about this.
and we're just now getting outraged about it.
I think what it is a lot of 20-somethings, 18, 19-year-olds that haven't been around and didn't know about the plane ride from hell until the Dark Side of the Ring put it out there. Or people that hadn't followed wrestling since back in the day are now watching Dark Side of the Ring because it's showing stuff on like the Von Erichs and things like that.
Well, that's
and now they're exposed to it.
Well, the show's very interesting. But I'm going to give you a hot take here. The show
Sure.
started out as we're going to talk about different factors of wrestling. It
Mm-hmm.
wasn't all related to WWE.
Yeah.
I feel like season 3, there's been a lot of episodes just trying to fucking degrouse or degrace WWE. I'm sorry.
Disgrace, is this what the word
Degrace,
we're looking
disgrace,
for?
whatever. I can't speak today.
Yeah,
Um,
degousing is when you hit the button on your PC and it goes wow, 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 wow,
Okay.
wow.
Either way,
Degousing.
there's a lot of episodes that like
Yeah.
paint WWE in a bad light.
Well, I haven't watched any of season 3. What are the episodes?
You had the Luna Vachon episode where while she's in WWE, it's like they just like shit on her.
Yeah, and she died.
Oh yeah, she died.
Terrible.
The plane ride.
Terrible.
Maybe not all season 3, but then you had like the Brawl for All. We all know that was a terrible idea. Why do we have to talk about it again?
Yeah.
Like, we all know that was a terrible idea. Vince Russo still stands by that it should have made new stars, but
Again,
he's a
that's
fucking
probably
idiot.
for the 20-somethings that weren't around.
Well, I mean, that's what all these are for,
Yeah.
right? But I remember watching the Brawl for All. I remember watching it. I remember watching the very first match, and I'm like, this isn't gonna. I remember my dad saying it. My dad was like, these dudes aren't boxers, and I was
No.
like, yeah, I know they're not. And he was like, this isn't gonna end.
And Bart Gunn won. What?
Yeah,
No!
yeah. Bart Gunn won, and they were trying to get what was it, the Beast Dan Severn to win?
No,
it was
Dan Severin was going to participate, and then he didn't, and it was Dr. Death Steve Williams.
That's it, Dr. Death Steve Williams, who was the favorite
Yeah, who's a legit tough guy.
Yeah, and got knocked out by Bart Gunn.
Yeah, he like tore his meniscus or something in that match,
knocked
didn't
out
he?
by Bart Gunn.
I mean, he did get
He got
knocked.
knocked out by
Bart Gunn got knocked out by Butterbean
Who
savagely.
can actually box, though? I mean, Butterbean's a big dude.
He
but
can really punch. I don't
Yeah.
know about box. I don't want to be on the other end of that ass whooping. I'll tell you that much. Bart Gunn, great gimmick. Let me tell you, I got blue jeans on.
Oh, man. I mean, the new
I think
gen.
he's from Kentucky as well.
Is he?
Yeah, I think both Guns are. Or at least Bart is. I think it's Hopkinsville. Terrible.
Are him and Billy actually related?
I sure fucking hope not. They don't look related.
I don't know. I'm just asking.
I mean, are Kane and The Undertaker related?
No, we know that. But,
I don't think anybody in wrestling's actually related except for like the Harts and the Armstrong family.
But when you
the
look
Von
at
Erichs.
when you look at this, I'm pretty sure on the Dark Side of the Ring, his name is Bart Gunn. Like he's not called something else.
Maybe he's just living his gimmick, Steve.
Maybe
He
That
wears
was
he
thing.
wears
I mean,
the same
Warrior
blue
did change
jeans.
his name to Warrior.
Ugh. Is the Ultimate Warrior a good gimmick?
Is it? I mean, for the time, I feel like it was a good gimmick for the
Take the
80s.
controls of the plane, Hulk Hogan. Push your plane into a nosedive.
Hulk Hogan. But no, like, you know, yeah, if you put something like the Warrior out today, I mean, look at it when they tried to redo the Renegade in '95. One, they tried to sell it like it was Warrior.
Ooh, also R.I.P. to that guy.
Yeah, that guy killed himself.
Yeah.
But one, they tried to sell it like it was the Ultimate Warrior. So obviously,
Oh,
this
I bought
gimmick
in, too.
This gimmick is destined to fail. Well, it's
Yeah.
not hard to believe. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not on WWE television.
Yeah.
You're looking at this picture of this guy who's just like in smoke, and Hogan's talking about being the ultimate.
Oh,
surprise. brother, ultimate surprise, brother, ultimate
Yeah.
surprise, brother. So it's not hard to believe that. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's coming to WCW to make some money. But one, WCW fooled you.
Yeah. In a bad way.
Two, the guy can't wrestle.
Nope.
Three, the guy's a Wardy Magoo.
Yeah.
Four, the guy can't wrestle, and he can't cut a promo. So what do you think's going to happen?
He's not going to get over.
But look at Ultimate Warrior now. So if Ultimate Warrior was debuted in 94,
Mm-hmm.
95, do you think he would have gotten over as much as he did in the 80s?
Initially, yes. Long term, no. Because that's exactly what we saw in
So
reality.
do you think he would have been... I mean, that is what we saw in reality, but Warrior's still considered one of the greats.
How much of that is because Warrior is an asshole, and how much of that is that he doesn't connect with the audience?
Oh, you want my honest fucking opinion? You can't find this anymore, and I'm pretty sure people on like eBay or like Amazon have it for
yeah, I
like
know
a
where you're
ridiculous
going.
amount of money.
Mhm.
But watch the self-destruction of the Ultimate Warrior DVD. You'll get the vibe of how everyone feels about this guy for real. Like nowadays, you don't really get that vibe because obviously he's passed away, and apparently he mended a lot of bridges before he left.
Yeah.
He didn't knock out Hogan when he saw him, even though he cut like that 2-hour long fucking like shoot fucking promo on him. From,
Yeah, in like his
downstairs of
living
his
room.
house.
Yeah.
He's like, you were fucking sucking Randy's dick while doing cocaine off of
Yeah.
fucking Brutus's ass.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah.
I remember seeing that like when it initially came out. I was like, "Oh, this is real." I
Yeah,
love it.
yeah. And then he did the one on Kevin Nash.
Yeah.
Where
Who's
he-
an asshole?
Who's an asshole, and he cut one on Kevin, and then he cut one on Scott. He
Who's
pretty
an
much cut one on the
asshole?
whole clique.
Scott Hall killed a guy.
Yeah.
Like fucking IRL killed the dude.
He IRL killed a dude outside of a strip club.
Yeah, what was he, a bouncer? Yeah.
And we wonder why he has alcohol problems.
I mean, couldn't have we made that a gimmick?
PTSD is a thing.
I'm sure he's got it.
Yeah.
Well, he's healthy now. Good for you, Scott.
Yeah, good for you, Scott. Good for you, Jake.
Like,
You're both healthy. Jake.
Scott was in a wheelchair not working us.
No, he was in a wheelchair and he was like 300 something pounds. Now he's
Yeah.
back down to like 200 and something.
Looking good, buddy.
He's able to do the diamond cutter without the chair, you know what I mean?
Bang!
But no, it's just, it's crazy when you think about it. You look at all these big names, man. Like now, like you think about it. Like think about all these big names. We're getting off the gimmick topic here.
It's
this
cool.
This is kind of how this show goes.
This has been a nice free flow. We haven't talked about
Yeah.
wrestling in a while.
But then you have like these dudes from like when we were kids, man, and you look at them. Like look at them. Like half
Most of them
dead.
are dead.
Yeah.
Like all the guys from ECW are dead.
Yeah. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first.
Yeah, they got
I remember episode 5. I tried to bring that up, and you were like, "Not all of them are dead."
hit. Yeah, I'm sure that happened.
I'm just saying. I recently
They
saw
do a
like,
spicy
I recently
replay.
was watching a
It's
YouTube-
good they were hitting each other in the head for real.
You watched
Hey, I
it?
loved it.
I was watching this YouTube video of someone who went and saw Sandman like in the last 2 months.
Oh, he looks
like
terrible.
shit.
Sabu looks terrible.
Sabu also did a bunch of dumb shit. Well, I mean, so did Sandman. And
Yeah,
all those
for
dudes
real.
did a bunch of dumb shit. Like The Rock looks great. The Rock's like pushing 50 something now, ain't he?
Yeah.
Gotta be.
Also, Roydy Magoo.
Has to be.
Gotta be huge.
Gotta be.
Huge.
Dwayne, if you're not on the roids, I need to know your secret.
Austin looks really good.
Austin looks good for an older guy. Yeah.
He could probably wrestle one more match.
He probably could, but he won't.
No, he doesn't have to.
He doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't have to. He's got WWE money doing like one episode of fucking like every 2 months of his Broken Skull sessions or whatever.
Hogan looks terrible.
Hogan looks terrible.
Flair looks terrible.
Flair looks terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Brutus Beefcake looks terrible.
Jake,
I don't even think that dude can move his neck.
Jake looks terrible, but he looks a lot better than he did.
Yeah, you can't really. I really can't put Jake in that category. You know what I'm saying? Because like we all know his issues.
Yeah.
Like in '95. Not 95, but like 2000, he was sitting there having people like touch his chest and shit at wrestling shows.
Oh, and he had the man boobs and the dad. Oh,
and he was wearing like the sweatpants.
Yeah, what is that? The Legends of Wrestling show with him and Yoko.
Oh my god!
Another dead guy, Yoko.
Yoko's dead, but he couldn't stop. He couldn't put the fork down, according to everyone. Even though he was a lovely guy, apparently. Like Rikishi talked about him. I watched his Behind the Bell Yokozuna, and Rikishi was talking about how like when he first got started and didn't have that much money, Yoko was like, just put however much you need on his check, because he was making all the money as the WWF champion and everything when he was the monster heel.
Yeah, they've had several guys in that family, the Inouye family, that have died young. Umaga's one. I think he was 34 or 35.
Rosie died.
Yeah.
He was Roman's brother.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if that's like a family thing. I mean, Yoko was obviously like 600 pounds for real.
I mean, good for the Usos and Roman for not being the typical Samoans.
Mm-hmm.
And did you see the new guy on NXT, the Usos' brother?
Mm-mm.
Oh, what's his name? Yeah, he was big on the indies. Like, he can work.
He's not the guy from New Japan, the Tonga kid.
No, not Tonga.
This
is some guy that was working the indies in the States.
Oh,
and
I don't know
he
who
just
it
got
is.
signed by NXT. You see the
they're gonna
Steiner's
shit on
kid
him.
just got signed by NXT?
Which one?
I think he's Scott's kid.
Samoa Joe, you're fat.
I don't know which Steiner is, but they're not letting him call him, like, he's not called Steiner.
Yeah, because the WWE is a bunch of cancer. It's terrible. Like, fuck that company, bro. I haven't even thought about
can we have a
watching the
discussion about this real
WWE.
fast? Like, we sit here and talk about
How is this going to go real fast? Fuck this company, man. Do you want me to make a
I'm talking
list?
about the fact of, like, how I know there's a Steiner that works for NXT, but he's not called Steiner.
Yeah, because fuck that company.
But here's another one.
Kurt Hennig's kid worked for that
Yeah, that's
company.
the one I was about to bring up. Drew McGillicuddy or whatever his name
Whatever
was.
the fuck his name is.
They didn't call him Kurt Hennig, or they didn't call him Brian Hennig.
Curtis
or
Axel.
Hennig. Yeah, Curtis Axel, that's it.
Yeah.
And they didn't call him Hennig.
They put him with Ryback and made him
But
Ryback.
you want people to understand this, but it doesn't make sense when he's walking around with a shirt that says "Better Than Perfection" or whatever, and he's doing it because he's a heel.
Yeah.
He's saying he's better than perfection. I get it because I know who your father is.
Yeah.
No one else gets it.
Well, his father was actually a good wrestler, and Kurt Hawkins isn't. Oh,
no,
facts.
Curtis Axel.
Curtis
Hawkins
and
is
whatever the
someone
fuck. They're all bad, Steve. They're all bad. It's all WWE bullshit. And if anybody fucking gets over that's outside of Vince's fucking permission, look at Zack Ryder. He was the internet champion.
I know.
For real. And you can't give this motherfucker a rub? Or Matt Cordova or whatever the fuck we're supposed to call him. I mean,
I think it's Matt Cardona now, or Cardona. Another guy that I enjoy watching, seeing how I'm another
Fuck this company,
toy
Steve.
collector. He collects toys as well.
Yeah, and he's like the barbed wire champion or some shit.
He's something right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I thought he was in AEW, but I guess not. Like, I'm confused.
He's like Cody's best friend. I guess Cody doesn't want him in the company because he's his best friend or something. I don't know.
That doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? Like, you're not.
I don't. It doesn't make sense.
You're not booking it. Tony Khan's booking it. A guy who has no business booking
anything.
I'm just gonna say this right now.
We're about to get
I don't
controversy.
I don't think Tony Khan's actually booking it.
Who's booking?
I think Arn, Tully, and these older cats
No.
over there are booking
No.
it. You don't think so?
No, there's no way. They might be booking wins and losses, but not the actual working of the matches. And I don't know how much the agents are doing. Like, is Dean Malenko really being like, Young Bucks, you're going to put a nail shoe on your foot, and then you're going to stomp on Penta's head?
Oh, no, that's clearly Penta and the Young Bucks. That's clearly the Lucha Bros and the Young Bucks like, hey, we're going to do this. And it's like, all right, yes.
Yeah, and Dean's like, sure.
Yeah, Dean's like, you're the boss, whatever.
Or Billy, or they've got several agents
They
out
got
there.
a lot of agents over there.
Which
They
I'm
got
sure-
Dean,
I'm sure-
Glacier's an agent.
Ugh.
Glacier's something over there.
I know he's something.
Apparently that guy can work, but you want to talk about
Are
shitty
you
gimmicks.
shitting me?
You want to
I
talk
didn't
about
see
shitty
it.
gimmicks.
I was so hyped for that gimmick too because the the glacier, like the below zero,
One
colder
of my
than ice.
favorite things about Glacier is when you listen to like Eric Bischoff or someone talk about him from WCW, like whoever was in WCW, they're like that dude's entrance cost more than what we were paying.
What the fuck were they thinking?
They thought they were going to go over.
Because Mortal Kombat's over that it.
Yeah,
Like, really?
exactly. Like, coming out of a box, you're automatically over.
I was hype. I mean, maybe Bischoff's onto something, but
I mean, you were hyped because you were watching all these promo packages, and there's this dude, and he's got the mask on. He's like, Glacier, coming soon. Nitro.
yeah, that's exactly what it was like. And then he comes out. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Where's the NWO? You know, where's Scorpion? Where's Raiden and Liu Kang? Like, what are you fucking people doing?
And then you throw Ernest the Cat Miller into that feud with Mortis and Wrath.
Who's a real karate guy.
Who's a real karate guy, but was booked like a joke.
Oh, man. He had some great promos, though. Come on. And he was the Ayatollah in the movie The Wrestler. Great film.
Great film. But,
what about that fireman scene in The Wrestler? Like, what is that about?
I mean, the chick was in the fireman. Good for Randy the Ram, you know what I'm
Like,
saying? That girl was like 20 and he's like 50. You know
Who wrote that scene?
I don't know who wrote that scene, but they were doing cocaine and he was
Just banging this
banging
broad,
this chick in the
not
laundry-
meeting
in
his
the-
daughter.
in the restroom.
God, I feel like that was made directly off of Hulk Hogan. It's exactly what happened in
I
real
feel
life.
like that's made off of all of them.
Sure.
I think Jericho was right in like 2009 when that movie came out, and he was like, "This movie predicts all of you '80s wrestlers, blah blah blah,
Yeah,
still
yeah,
trying
yeah.
to live in the moment."
Oh, and then he goes on like Larry King cutting a promo on Mickey Rourke. He's like, "You step in the ring, baby.
Yeah, and then Mickey
I'll
Rourke
stretch ya.
shoots
Fucking
Doc.
stretch it.
You know what's funny is Jericho talks about it, and Jericho talks about how like it was supposed to be a worked punch, but Mickey Rourke actually socked him at WrestleMania when Mickey Rourke got in the ring after the Legends versus Jericho match or whatever WrestleMania that was.
I mean, you heard the promos. He was mad.
Apparently, Mickey Rourke apologized to him, like he didn't stick the punch like he was supposed to, because Mickey Rourke
Is a real boxer.
boxer.
Yeah,
Like that was like one of his first feature
and a
roles.
real drug addict.
And a real big drug addict. Like,
Yeah.
have you ever seen the movie Thursday?
Oh, 10 out of 10.
Oh man, has the internet ever seen the movie Thursday?
Oh, what's the other one with him and Tupac?
Tupac.
What's that one? Yeah, there's a Mickey Rourke movie where Tupac said Bullet.
Oh, Bullet.
Great movie.
Or if you want to talk about another underrated Mickey Rourke movie with the guy from Miami Vice, and he also played Nash Bridges. I can't think of his name.
I've not seen this movie, and
But
I'm
you know what I'm
interested.
talking about? You know what I'm talking about?
I have
His
no
name,
idea what you're talking about.
what
I know the
fuck's
actor,
his name? Yeah, the actor.
but I don't know the movie.
And the movie's Marlboro, that Harley Davidson, the Marlboro movie.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That movie, 10 out of 10 80s flick, like all of a sudden they got like these super rich people coming after them,
Yeah.
and like they got like these futuristic suits on where they can't be shot, and they got to hit headshots, and it's a really good 80s movie. Like if you're into 80s movies, just cheesy, campy,
Yeah,
fucking like
yeah.
let's just get into gunfights for no fucking reason. Like, oh, we got to save the bar, we got to go steal this money, and to bullshit.
And the cherry on top is Iron Man 2.
yeah.
Not bad.
Not bad, even though they
It's okay.
even though they combined two villains. and
The
I'm not a big
Crimson
fan.
Dynamo and
Yeah.
Whiplash. Like, what are you doing? And then I watched The Wrestler, and it changed my life.
Oh, The Wrestler changed my life too. And then he did like a boxing one after that where he plays like a washed up boxer.
Yeah, I
He's
haven't
trying-
seen
I
it,
haven't
but
seen
yeah.
that one, but I heard it's pretty good. But The Wrestler, man, I can't say enough good things about that movie.
Love it.
Love it. Like showing him like taking the money he got from that fucking hardcore indie show he did. And
Oh, with
going to the
Necro
titty
Butcher?
bar. Yeah, with
Yeah.
Necro Butcher.
And Marissa Tormain's there.
Tormain's there. Aunt May. You know
Oh,
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Rejuvenated her career.
Definitely.
Thank you, Mickey Rourke.
Yeah.
That's what Marissa Tomei's saying right now.
Yeah, I hear the internet saying she's going to die in the new Spider-Man.
Oh, man.
I'm going to be devastated if that's the case.
The internet's also dropped a picture of apparently what may be the Green Goblin's costume. Have you seen that yet?
I have not. Is it delightful?
It looks pretty good. He has like the slash and everything, like in a pouch, like the Green Goblin used, like in the comics. Has.
Yeah, yeah, with
It's
the
brown.
purple and the...
It's not purple though. It's like brownish looking. Maybe it's gonna be purple in the movie, but like it's not even William Dafoe in the suit. That's what makes me think it's a lie. But I'm
yeah,
not
is it going to be
sure.
Willem Dafoe?
But William Dafoe's apparently going to be in the movie. Like
Oh,
he's
he's
listed
so
on
good.
IMDb as Green Goblin.
Hello, Peter.
Yeah.
You know what they love more than to watch a hero rise? Fall. Still trying.
Oh, I love it. So good. Willem Dafoe, man.
William Dafoe
Oh,
looked great besides the Power Ranger costume, right? He did that character
It worked.
justice, except for the Power Ranger costume. I mean, it's not that big of an arc on him,
Yeah,
but it's just, if there's one thing I could change about William Dafoe's Green Goblin,
sure.
I would have just put him in a costume like Spider-Man's.
Yeah,
Just the Green Goblin.
I agree with you, but the costume by itself doesn't bother me too much. Just because, I guess it's because Dafoe hams it up so hard. Like, he's John Travolta in Battlefield Earth level of hamming it up. This is acting. This is how you show emotion. That's the way it is. I love it. Like, bro, you've got to work on that gimmick, William. Like, if your gimmick is going to be the Green Goblin, well, we're going to put a nice bow on this. If your gimmick is the Green Goblin, you got to make me believe it. You can't just be like, I've been acting since before you could tie your shoes. You know, that doesn't really work.
No, it doesn't. But, like, my favorite part of the Green Goblin, or William Dafoe's Green Goblin, is like right after he gets the formula put into him, and then he grabs that little dork guy, and he's like, back to formula, and throws him through the window, and then he does the...
Yeah.
That's William Dafoe. You know what I'm saying? Like, when he does the pose, I'm just like, yes!
Yeah, that was the guy in Platoon.
Yeah, that's the guy in Platoon. That was the guy who played Jesus.
Yeah, oh, man, The Last Temptation of Christ. How good is that? We need to do just a movie episode.
We really do need to just do a movie
I love
episode,
that movie.
Movie episodes are...
God, he's sexy Jesus.
He is. He's like walking with the cross, and he's like half naked, and like you can see like just the pooch coming out. Like,
I know, right?
Yeah, it was like
man. How pissed off were Christian groups?
And you gotta think about, like, I would have loved to have been an adult or a preteen or a teenager during that time. Because you gotta think about what were we when The Passion of Christ came out? Were we
That's
in
in
our
like
20s?
the 80s. Oh, with Jim Caviezel? We were in high school.
Yeah, so we were old enough to be like, man, listen to the internet. Just fucking like the Jews hate this guy.
Yeah,
and he hates the Jews.
Oh,
you know
Mel
what I'm
Gibson,
saying?
yeah.
And I would have loved to have been around to listen to the mediocrity, the media talk about The Last Temptation.
Oh,
of
it
Christ.
couldn't have been good.
It couldn't have been good. But William Dafoe's great in it.
Oh, that movie's fucking art.
It's amazing.
Really good.
And when you sit here and think about movies for a second, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, nothing.
No, we don't need to spoil a whole episode of movies. We could go on for another hour.
Okay. So what do we want to talk about now, Hardbody?
Gosh, I don't know. What about AEW now? Like, we've talked about everything else. I can't think of any really terrible gimmicks that just stand out to me off the top of my head. But the big news, and I know we're late on it, is CM Punk.
CM Punk came back to wrestling. Yes, that's a big news. But do you feel like AEW is using him correctly?
Yes and no.
Yes and no?
Here's the yes. When he debuted, it was fucking perfect. In Chicago, packed house. He's the first guy that comes out. He cuts his promo. Great. He wrestles Darby.
Great.
Perfect. Now he's feuding with Team Taz. Okay, him and Taz can trade barbs. That's pretty entertaining. And then he wrestles Powerhouse Hobbs. And he gets a decent match out of Hobbs. Okay. And now he's wrestling Bobby Fish. Now he's wrestling Daniel Garcia. Man,
Did you
for real?
see? It wasn't on Rampage. It wasn't on Dynamite. It was kind of like how WWE does like their exclusive WWE things.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they did one for YouTube. For AEW did. It was like a backstage promo. I don't know if it happened. Actually, I'm gonna take back what I said. I don't know if it happened on the show. It might have happened on the show, but like he was back there doing a promo with
Yeah, and Eddie Kingston comes out.
Kingston comes out, and he's like, "Well, you talking shit, blah blah blah. This that, and I didn't tap out, blah blah." And, you know, so clearly here we go. It's gonna be CM Punk versus Eddie,
That'll be good.
which will be good.
Yeah.
Even though I don't think Eddie's the best wrestler,
Oh, boy, he can talk, though.
he can. Yeah, like you need to put like when he was just like leading that group of people before they all went to the Hardy family business or whatever the hell it's
Yeah.
called, or the Hardy family office.
Yeah, well, then you had Death
'Cause, you know, he
Triangle
had-
and all that, yeah.
You had Death Triangle, but then he had like
It's my best friend, Penta.
yeah.
Yeah. Or you can do the New Yorker better than me, but yeah.
This is my best friend Penta Zero or whatever the hell he's called.
Penta
now.
El Cerro.
Yeah. But then Penta got the best gimmick ever. Like, that randomly happened out of nowhere. Like, you watch that match on Revolution where him and Cody go at it in the 6-man ladder match, and then he's, like, talking shit, and then, like, they get the Cody versus Penta match. But the thing that made Penta says, Cody hasn't got nothing without his daddy's name. Ooh! Like, I love that gimmick. I love that guy. What's his name?
He's one of the announcer dudes.
He's one of the announcer guys. He does the show. He does like the pre-show every week.
Yeah.
He also is a toy advocate. He collects G.I. Joe and Transformers. I'm a big fan. But I love that gimmick. I love having this dude that can't speak English on his own. So you got this guy who's like, Penta says, da 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 da.
Yeah, and Ray Phoenix can't speak English very well by himself either. So I mean, give him a mouthpiece, and this and it works. And Ray Phoenix is incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Let's jump the ball because we haven't really talked about AEW very much, right? As much as we keep saying we're going to talk about AEW, we really have not ever actually talked about AEW. So what was your first intro in AEW?
I don't know, the big giant indie show that they put together in Chicago with the Bucks and Kenny and
I'm talking about AEW, the company.
the first pay-per-view.
You watched? No, that's where we watched that. Because I was doing training and I
Yeah.
ordered it and we
And then
watched
we
it together.
watched
'Cause that's
it
when
and talked
Dean
about
came
it.
out. Dean came out and
Dean, his name is John
I'm
Moxley.
sorry, John Moxley came out and used his Christian name.
Yeah,
John Moxley came out and Paradigm shifted him on top of the giant
the poker chips.
poker chips.
Yeah,
That's right.
and it was delightful.
Yes.
I mean, and they had some dumb shit like the dude with no legs in the battle royal, but like even that they made make
Was that
sense.
Zach Gowen?
I don't. Who cares?
I'm
The-
just
the
curious.
only
Like,
thing
is
that
Zach
made it-
Gowen still going around, the one-legged dude?
The only thing that made it make sense was MJF went right after him. You see, because he's a heel. So
Yeah,
he's going to go right
yeah.
after the legless guy.
Let's talk about people. Let's talk about the 5 top stars of the future that AEW is building right now.
5? All right, I'll give you a list.
Go
Jungle
ahead.
Boy,
Yep.
Darby Allin,
Agree.
Hangman Page.
Agree. MJF.
Oh, yeah, duh.
Gotta need one more.
I mean, I really like Ricky Starks.
Ricky Starks.
I think he's
yeah.
fucking awesome.
Ricky Starks is really good. Like, you thought Brian Cage was going to be the standout as the Wordy Magoo from that. I like Ricky since he joined Team
Yeah.
Taz. Ricky coming out with, like, the alligator shoes and, like, I'm the pretty boy in the group.
Mhm.
And then that match him, Darby, Sting had with Brian Cage. Like, you
Mhm.
saw him able to work in that kind of atmosphere. He can work. And he can also put on a match, too.
Mhm.
And one thing I love about AEW, and people may disagree with me on this, I love Dark and I love Evolution, or Revelation, whatever the fuck
The
it's
one
called.
on Monday.
Whatever it's called.
Mhm.
Because you look at these kids, right? Like, what's the kid who wears the BLM? He always has the Black Lives Matter little,
Yeah,
like-
that's in the tag team?
yeah, the high flight or whatever, or high fly or high
Yeah,
flight.
something like that.
Or
Top
Top
flight or some
Flight.
shit like that. Yeah.
The young kid, he also is he collects Funky Pops, so that's the
That's
reason why I
cool.
know who it is. He's like 17-7,
Mhm.
right? And the only reason why he's 17-7 is
He's
because they put him
wrestling
on
on
dark
Dark,
and
yeah.
elevation and let him win against jobbers, and that's where you pad those numbers, and I like that.
Yeah, I don't watch
You're not just
Elevation
seeing,
at
like,
all.
Goldberg come out one week where he's like 1-0, and then all of a sudden he's
He's
17-0,
17-0, yeah.
and then he's 20-0, and then he's 99-0.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's making sense at least to why these dudes have these high stats
Mhm.
for their. And if you're going to do something like this, how AEW first said, like, hey, we're going to keep track of their record. Obviously, what you've seen AEW do, though, they're not keeping track of a full-time record. They're doing it by year. So when
Yeah.
the new year hits, they go back to 0-0. But they'll be like, in 2019, they were
Yeah.
this and this. Because I think like John Moxley was undefeated in 2019, and then 2020 happened, and
Yeah.
they had the shitty barbed wire match. And
Ooh, I don't think the match was shitty. I think the barbed wire not exploding
Yeah.
was shitty.
yeah, the internet likes to shit on it because it wasn't.
And Tony Khan got triggered. And
Oh,
needs
he
to let the
really
internet
got
lead.
triggered.
Like, you shouldn't have fucked it up, Tony. And I really love, we talked about Eddie Kingston earlier. I really liked how he covered it. He's like, I was the Rikers. I was having flashbacks, man.
Of the guards and beating me with the sticks and the heat from the cells and yada 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 yada.
And John's like sipping some scotch. He's like, yeah, totally.
He's like, yeah, tell him. And he's just sitting there drinking his whiskey.
Yeah, those two are
Oh,
great
man,
together.
It's perfect. And how do you feel about John Moxley right now? Like what AEW's doing?
I think he doesn't need a belt. I think he needs more airtime. I understand that him and Renee have a new baby, and that's going to cut into some of the airtime and the dates that he's going to want to he is going to want to make. But I would like to see him on TV a little bit more and some more meaningful storylines.
Like actual storylines, not just some random dude from New Japan coming in to fight him.
That match was better than I thought it was going to
No,
be.
it was, but
Yeah.
I mean, like you want him to actually feud. Maybe we need to let John build up someone within the company.
Yeah,
Because right now he's just kind of the forbidden door guy.
yeah,
And I don't know if maybe the reason why he's not on their TV very often is because before he signed with AEW, he signed with New Japan.
yeah. I don't know how many dates he's making.
I don't know how
for
many
them.
dates he needs to make with New Japan.
But
to
he-
where maybe it's
Now he did lose the U.S. title for the
to
for
the
New
Murder Hawk
Japan.
or Murder Hawk
Lance
Monster.
Archer.
Yeah, Lance Archer.
Who hasn't won anything on AEW TV. Like, you guys got to fix that.
Well, then he also botched. his
I'm just
moonsault.
saying, well,
but
I
I do
mean-
like. Did you see what he put out on Twitter?
Mm.
He was like, "Listen, I've been doing this move for the last like 20 years of or 15 years of my career. The first time I ever missed it, AEW took really good care of me. Let's stop talking about it."
No, you got to work it in an angle like Christopher
I think-
Daniels did.
Or like AJ Styles did in the Indies when he
That's
fucked
fine
up the
too.
phenomenal
Yeah, the
forearm
forearm.
and he was afraid
Yeah.
to do it. Like you make Archer for like the next month, look at the top rope like
I can't do it. I can't do it.
I can't get up there. I can't do this.
Yeah.
I'll fuck it up again.
And then when he hits it, it's like a bomb went off and nobody's kicking out ever.
Yeah, and then the guy he fights when he actually does it, you know.
Yeah, and it's a meaningful match and all this good stuff.
Yeah. But
What about, what did you think about Hangman Page with the Dark Order, feuds with the Elite and Kenny Omega, loses, goes off TV for a while, and now he's right back in the picture with Kenny? Do you think that was the right way to book it?
I think it worked because, okay, real life here, Hangman had a baby.
Yeah,
His wife was going into labor or whatever, like a week later. So what they did is they wrote him off television.
of course.
They beat his ass and they wrote him off television. And not only did you beat his ass, but you beat his ass in a time where he was trying to apologize to his old friends and say that he made mistakes and not technically joining the Elite, but just saying, like, you guys are my friends. I don't want to lose that friendship. The Dark Order's my friends, but you guys are my friends too. But then you just beat his ass. So now you give him a reason to hate the Elite.
Yeah, and have a delightful, like, million-man tag match. Which I'm normally not super into those because they're too crazy, but that one in particular. Man, when they came out, killer.
Let's talk about this for a second, okay? So, like, before Hangman came back, and we'll get to Hangman's return, but before Hangman came back, they had a match with the Dark Order versus the Elite, and it was the Young Bucks and Adam Cole versus
Baby!
Jeremy, Silvers, and
Silvers and Reynolds.
and
like,
Uno Uno
Yeah.
in a 6-man tag match.
Oh, good for Uno losing some weight. By
Yo,
the way.
Uno looks great compared to what he looked like when he first came into AEW.
Terrible.
He
Looks like
fucking
a double
man.
stuff.
But he can
bro.
still work though. Like when you watch those little matches, he was still able to move and
It
work.
was okay.
But he was big. I mean,
He
for
looks
a bigger guy.
Yeah, he looks a lot better now.
He looks a lot better.
And Stu
now.
Grayson's a little small, but I still like Stu Grayson
Oh,
too. But
man.
anyway.
Yeah, but so I'm pretty sure you've seen this. It's been all over the internet. But what I'm about to talk about is the fact that the Young Bucks are going to do their whole like run the ropes, stop, kiss Adam Cole, and then super kick the guy that he had in the
Because they're
camel
indie.
clutch. Because they're indie as fuck, right?
Yeah.
But what happens is they hit the ropes for the last time, and Silvers and Reynolds pull the ropes and they fall over.
Mm-hmm.
And they come in, and Adam Cole has his eyes closed, and they kiss him on the cheek. And then he wakes up and realizes that like beards are touching him, or so, I don't know how he realizes it, but like his eyes open like in shock. And then he sees those two kissing him, and it's funny. And they turn it into like a little skit now on being the Elite,
Yeah.
where they're just trying to be Adam Cole's friends.
Oh, really?
That's
That
perfect.
okay? I like that. I've been watching BTE in a long time.
I've been watching it I've been watching it since Adam Cole came back because I was curious because like I watched it back. In
Oh,
the
I'm
day.
sure it's great.
So I was curious how they were bringing him back, and like the way they brought him back is they had like a séance. They were like, "We need our one true friend back." Hold hands. Kenny sells it on being the Elite. By the way,
Yeah.
he's like, "Hold hands. It won't work if we don't hold hands." And then like it doesn't happen. They all walk out of the locker room, and then the camera pans back, and there's Adam Cole, and he has the monster in his hand from like when he died on being the Elite, and he's like, "Why does my mouth taste like rehab monster? Where the fuck am I?"
Yeah.
And they play it off like he's been gone for 4 years.
Yeah.
Oh, it's perfect.
Oh, that's delightful.
Yeah, and but no, let's get back to this. So you have Hangman come back.
Yeah,
Clearly going to be the winner of the ladder match.
Well, there was a mystery Joker card coming out.
The internet already knew. It
And anybody that has 2 neurons knows it's Hangman Page, and he's going to come out and win.
So he comes out and he wins.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent match, by the way. If you watch that match, if you watch that ladder match,
Yeah, a lot going
excellent
on.
match. A lot going on. A lot of moves happening. A lot of spots going on, and it's working perfect.
It's exciting.
Yes, you got some inner feuds going on within the match because like Lance Archer and John Moxley were doing their thing.
Mm-hmm.
Then you had Andrade and Pac doing their thing,
Mm-hmm.
and then you had who else was in it? Because there were 6 of them.
Cassidy.
Was Orange Cassidy was in it. He was kind of just there, and then Hangman.
Yeah.
I think there was.
I
Only
think
6
that's
dudes.
it.
I'm not 100% sure.
Pretty sure.
Um,
Those are the people that mattered. Well,
yeah.
really, that was the people that mattered, and then some, because Andrade didn't matter. Cassidy didn't matter.
No,
We all knew these guys were
Andrade
coming
does not need any way
Yeah.
to have that belt, and so then you got Hangman come out and he wins, and not only does he win, but he does like his little like reverse tombstone like off the ladder on somebody.
Yeah,
which looks
the dead eye.
so protected.
Mm-hmm.
By the way.
Yeah, the buckshot's a better move.
Yeah, the buckshot's
lariat.
better. So this week on Dynamite,
Mhm.
did you see like the Halloween match they had?
Where he's the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
Loved it. You know what I got from that?
You got to take that
I got
costume
some
off earlier,
vibes.
Paige.
I got some vibes like some vibes like back in the day, like when Austin's taking off the fucking like the wig and shit when he was pretending to be like the guy taking off the ring and then gets Vince in the cage.
Mm-hmm.
by himself. I mean, that's the vibe I got from that.
Are you serious? I got this is indie as fuck. And
I mean,
Stu Grayson's Kratos.
Yeah, it's great.
Well, I mean, I was entertained, but I was like, oh, I mean, clearly the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man's going to be somebody. It's probably Adam Page. He just leaves the costume on for too long because he takes the hat off. We're good. But then he leaves the bodysuit on and he's doing like the fucking Deadeye in wrestling moves in his stupid fucking outfit. Like, take the damn thing off.
But I do like the fact that they thought he was the horse. And then it was really that...
Cuddlefuck?
Yeah,
Brandon Cutler.
Brandon Cutler.
Yeah.
Cuddlefuck.
Yeah. That guy's fucking
you
terrible.
talk about a guy that they were like, hey, you're not going to get over coming out like dressed like a dragon and shit, so we're just going to make you this really funny gimmick where you spray us with fucking...
No, they should have kept the dragon thing and continued the feud with Peter Avalon because that was a feud I was invested in. He's on Dark and he's the best. And where's Leva Bates?
Yeah, where is my girl, Leva Bates?
She's a trainer. She's got to get the rest of those girls to go.
Can we have a discussion real fast?
Blue pants, if you must.
You are the hottest thing in wrestling today.
Hottest.
I just want you to know that I'm a big fan. And if you would like to holler at your boy, like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.
Did you see what we did there with the gimmick? With the hush? Yeah. But now he's pretty Peter.
Now he's pretty Peter Avalon. And he has that big Rory Magoo guy with him, and he's teaming with Zigglypuff's brother sometimes.
Oh, that guy's terrible.
No, man, you want to talk about me hating fucking Zigglypuff. His brother, get the fuck off my television.
Really bad.
And I can't stand that family, I guess. I hate them.
Something about the genetics.
I don't like
the dyed hair.
I don't like, he
don't
looks like his brother.
You don't like the cut of his jib.
I just
don't like it.
And it's like, whatever, man. Like, I guess good for you that you're making money. I don't have to like you.
Yeah, I wish I was working for AEW.
No, I'm talking about Zigglypuff again. Like, I hate Dolph.
I mean, I wish I was working in the wrestling business.
Yeah, but dude, could we really make it in the
Dolph
wrestling
Ziggler
business?
hooked up with Sonny.
Good for him. You hooked up with a crack whore.
Whoa, Sonny is a nice
Whoa,
lady.
tell me I'm wrong.
Sonny's a nice Christian lady.
She made a porn with her WWE fucking Hall of Fame ring on. You
Oh,
can clearly
terrible.
see her pulling her ass cheeks apart, and you see the WWE fucking Hall of Fame ring.
Because that's the gimmick.
Yeah, and they also sold you that fucking porno.
They didn't sell me anything.
With nothing but no. I'm just saying, like the way they what's the word I'm looking for? Advertise that porno. It's all pictures of her from like '96.
Yeah, it's false advertising.
Then you get like fucking like 2000.
I feel like you purchased this, Steve.
I didn't purchase it. Who purchases porn anymore?
Oh, for real, right?
Yeah,
that's another separate podcast discussion. Like the internet is the like some knowledge of all of the history of mankind, and we use it to look up porn and talk shit on Facebook.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Yeah,
and talk about wrestling, apparently.
And then people make video game videos. And people, actually, you can say we talk about anything. You got people that are making YouTube money making like horror movies or horror movie like kill counts. I'm a big fan of Dead Meat. That dude, James A. Janice.
I'm a big fan of Cinema Sins.
Cinema Sins are good. Cinema Scares is another one they do for horror movies.
Oh, really?
And then, yeah, but I watch Dead Meat like every week.
Really?
Yeah.
We're definitely going to have to, when you get back from your little sabbatical, we're going to have to do a movie one that's just strictly about movies. I think that would be a good time.
I think that would be a good time as well, because me and you don't have the same opinion. Like, you don't like horror movies.
I definitely don't.
You like a lot of artsy shit.
Yes.
Which, we agree on most stuff, but like, there's just some genres that you don't watch that I watch.
Yeah. And I like some real artsy shit, like you said.
I think for today...
Yeah, I think that's about it. Of course, we could probably go for longer with this AEW content. I think this is a good stopping point.
Yeah. And I think we just need to pick it up again where we left off next time.
I got you. Yeah, I'm totally down.
But again, this is your boy, Diamond Steve.
With Josh Hardbody Daddy.
Like, comment, subscribe. And if you don't like it, we don't really care.
Fuck yeah.
Have a good day. See y'all on the flip side.